Hiya. What do you think are going to be the top 10 things that I miss as soon as I get on that plane and leave England? What do you think? Which things would you miss if you were leaving? Stay tuned. I'm Stephie from across the pond, in case we haven't met yet. I'm an English girl who met and married an American man, moved over to the States across the pond, lived there for 18 whole years and learnt some amazing had some amazing experiences, made some mistakes, came back to be near my dear mum. Here I am in England again, but I'm actually planning a move back to the States now across the pond, so welcome. So I just was thinking the other day, as soon as I had an offer on my house, by the way, I'm in one of my favourite places around here, my peaceful place, where I just love to come and ponder life, think about things, pray, and it's so peaceful, it's just so amazing. They keep this place so well with the wonderful wildlife, it's so clean, but peaceful is the word that comes to my mind every time I come here. So anyway, yeah, I mean the top 10 things as soon as I got the offer on my house, which I have now, and here we go. Here's the first part of that journey, but that's a separate video. I'm going to be I'm going to be documenting my emotional journey of moving out of the UK for the second time. So here's my list of top 10 things. They're not on any list of importance really, they're just in a list that I made that come to my mind. So number 1, the humble English crisp. And probably people will be yawning at this and saying, oh, you know, the Americans, they've got really good nachos, or they've really good, you know, good snacks over there. Well, they can be good, but there's something about the humble English crisp that I just still love. I love crunching into that thin English potato crisp with the cheese and onion or the salt and vinegar. They're my 2 running favourites still. Occasionally I just have ready salted, but I really miss those over there, and it was hard to find actually. It was pretty hard to find something that tasted just quite like English crisp. So that crunch and that thinness and it just everything about them. So I just love a good bag of crisps sometimes. And so that was the first one. What's your favourite flavour? I think mine's still cheese and onion, probably. But they're the ones that I used to take to school in my lunch sometimes, so it might be tied up with my childhood memories there. Okay, so yes, we're here with the ducks again. I know a couple of my videos have been here already, and I will definitely miss the ducks, the English ducks of course, the ones that speak English. But yeah, I mean, aren't they amazing? I'm just very amazed, flabbergasted actually, at how many ducks and other wildlife there are here. So I'm really missing them now. We did have a big lake where we lived in Florida, but we didn't see too many ducks. Maybe the alligators ate them, don't know. Right, so yeah, ducks. Number 3, the high street. So while I see that things are really changing quite a bit with shopping, and lots of folks going to shopping malls now and, you know, out of town places, it's still something nice about the high street. It's something nice not having to pay for parking, but to park up and just to walk up and down. I mean, I think maybe again it's pretty much a nostalgia run, this video, but I have nostalgic memories of walking down Barnstable High Street in Devon when I was growing up. Everything in one place, you know, you walk up one side, down the other. I used to look in the different shops, see how I could spend my pocket money at that time. And then later on, you know, in my adult life, you know, it was just nice to go when I had something to find for clothing, just everything in the high street. And then you'd walk back out and get some fresh air in between, which you don't really get unless you've got one of those centres where you walk around. They do actually have one of those in Ashford, in Kent, if you're ever in that area. I think I'll put that in the description below if you're ever in that area. That's pretty neat. it's like a mock high street, like a modern type thing, and it goes all the way around the circle, and you can walk all the way around. Lots and lots of different, you know, stores there. So I will definitely miss the atmosphere of the high street. So this whole video has a capital N nostalgia written all over it. Okay, the next one, roundabouts. So some of my American friends who haven't driven over here, they won't really understand why I will miss roundabouts. But if you've driven over here and in the States or anywhere else in the world where you drive on the right, but mostly I'm talking about the States because America has the four-way stop, which is basically their version of a roundabout. But for some weird reason, I just couldn't get used to these very much, even though I drove over there for years. I was always thinking, what, is it my turn now, you know? Of course, my long-suffering husband again, well, you can go. And I said, are you sure? Are you sure? So it took me a while to get the hang of the who can go next on the four-way stop. With the roundabout, it's simple. You know, you just give way to the right and that's it. So you stand where you are, getting ready to either go around or go straight on or whatever. So I definitely will miss the roundabouts. They can be fun as well, you know. If you miss your turn, you just go around again. You don't have to go down a street, you know. Anyway, one of those English things that I will definitely miss. Okay, rugged coastlines. So I don't profess to have been everywhere in the USA yet, and I probably won't get to see everything in the US, but as far as I've seen, I haven't seen that many rugged coastlines. So I will definitely miss those. So across the land as you go to Cornwall, Devon, Wales, and some other areas like the Irish coast and things like that, areas like that. Lovely, amazing, majestic, the cliffs of Dover. We just went to Brighton for a day trip, my son and I. Amazing coastline all the way. So I will miss the rugged coastlines, definitely. I made a video recently, one of my earlier videos actually, about my day trip to New Romney, which is on the south coast. It was really subtitled, it's not quite Florida spring break, the Optimist Seaside Visit. All right, okay, so next one, red robins. Okay, red robins and other animals that you don't really find in the USA. So red robin came to mind because I think that's really tied up with my childhood, is looking out on the snowy day and seeing these red robins pop up and jumping around on the snow. It's just a memory, really. Don't really see red robins too much now. Has anyone seen a red robin recently? Maybe you don't care, but this is really a list that will matter to my heart when I leave, and I will miss seeing them if I don't. So, all right, so cheese. English cheddar cheese. Folks, there's nothing like it until you haven't had it. Like in the States, their cheese is okay, but I found myself having to buy extra mature to even match some of our mature cheese that we get over here. So I think we're really spoiled over here with the excellent cheeses. Just something amazing about English cheddar cheese that I will definitely miss. I missed it before and I'm going to miss it again. So can't really do much about that. I can pay for it. I can pay a premium and get it in an international store. But what commonly happens is you don't tend to do that. You tend to just go with the flow and get the generic cheese and you just get used to it, you know. So yeah, I will definitely miss that, and if I come over to visit, I will definitely buy some, eat some. I don't think you can take it back though. Okay. All right, so definitely cheese. Cream teas, on the subject of food. So I grew up in Devon and I got used to having clotted cream everywhere. So in Barnstable's fairly touristy area anyway. So we used to go commonly for a cream tea if we had a special visitor like my nan and, you know, anyone like that. we used to go out for a cream tea with the scones, the freshly made scones, and or biscuits as they'd be called over there in the States, and you know, some really nice jam. That's something else really I should put on that list, is English British jam. So all of these things, of course, you know, you can find things in the States that you like, and I get it, you know, it's going to have a different taste, but I think it's a lot of it is to do with what you're used to. But I love the blackcurrant, which we can't get in the United States. So that really goes with that, the blackcurrant, even though we don't have blackcurrant jam with the cream tea. We usually have strawberry or raspberry. All right, so any expats living over in the States or anywhere else, can you remember which way round the cream tea is? The Cornish way and the Devonshire way? I actually, even though I grew up in Devon, I like the Cornish cream tea method because I like to put the cream on first. It's a bit like putting putting butter on your bread. I like to put the cream on first and then the jam. But Devonians, they like to put jam first and cream. There's a big hoo-ha about that over the years. Yeah, you can look that up if you like. Quite a funny argument going on there, like a cultural thing. Alright, so cream teas. Just next one, the simple bread and butter. So bread, definitely, I will miss English bread. Now I don't know what it is about the English bread, but it just tastes different. I'm not really going to go into that too much because it might be a touchy subject with ingredients and so on, but it just tastes different. I mean, it's just, I prefer it. So I just will definitely miss like the British bread and British butter. Now, when I was growing up, we used to have Anchor butter, which was from New Zealand, and we can still buy that, but now there's other good butters that you can get, and even like Aldi's own butter, things like that. Great stuff. It's just really nice butter, very creamy. I used to miss the creaminess of the butter over there in the States. So, you know, it sounds like I'm criticizing, but there's so much good stuff in America to eat, but there's a lot of differences too. So you get my gist. All right, so the last one really. Chocolates, digestives and OTs. Now over there, I do happen to know that you can now go to the international store somewhere over there, probably Publix, and buy these types of things. But again, you have to pay for them, you know, you have to pay, I don't know, at least £1 or £2 more for exporting them to the USA. So the novelty goes off a little bit when you have to pay quite a bit for a pack of biscuits or cookies. But anyway, so occasionally I used to get them. I used to get the chocolate hobnobs from Publix, and they were so good. But you get used to not having them, so you just learn to miss them really, instead of paying a huge amount for these things. I think that's everything on my list for today, but I hope you've enjoyed my little nostalgia run here. Before I get ready to leave England a second time, so if you haven't seen my video, you might like to check that out. Leaving a second time, this time over 50, and any other kind of issues pertaining to being an expat in England. I really feel that I'm not just an English girl coming back to the UK in 2023. I'm also an American expat coming back and experiencing some of what American expats have here. They're missing American things. So I am in a quite unusual situation really in that respect. You know, I have the two things to contend with. But anyway, it's been wonderful to have you along today. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate any comments that you might add and your support on the channel, and I will look forward to seeing you again in the next video. Cheerio!